Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. We're moving out west to the Pac-12. Huge game. These two teams are tied for first. It's Oregon versus UCLA. Let's go.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, UCLA on the road at Oregon here. Line opened up Oregon -6, but by Monday morning it's up to 6.5. Early sharp money is on UCLA though. 67% of the money on UCLA, despite the public being pretty even as of Monday morning. Check this out though. So no changes all week. Still Oregon -6.5. Sharp money stays on UCLA all week until Friday. And then the sharps come in and start hammering Oregon because of the weather report, and we'll get to that in just a second. But here we are on Friday night. We're looking at Oregon -6.5 still. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Oregon plus 2.78. So that's a huge lean. What is that, 9-point lean on UCLA? Huge lean on the Bruins here. All right, so this is the showdown here. The last two undefeated teams in conference play of the Pac-12. These teams are tied for first place. Winner will be in sole possession of first place of the Pac-12. This Oregon team, everyone remembers them getting absolutely scraped by Georgia in week 1. But since then, they've won 5 straight games, scoring 41 plus points in each of those games. And on the other side, you got UCLA. I mean, that offense has looked unstoppable. DTR looks great. Chip Kelly's really got that team rolling. Both these teams coming off a bye week. I mean, the table is set for a showdown here. Check this out. So UCLA, right? Coming off back-to-back wins. Both of those wins, they were the underdog against a ranked opponent. They beat Washington, and then they beat Utah. Both those games, they were underdog against a ranked opponent, and they won the game straight up. Why is that significant? Because, again, they are the underdog against a ranked opponent. Again, this will be 3 in a row if they beat Oregon here. Sportsbooks have this total set at 71, which really shows you what the odds makers think of these two defenses. Also, it shows you what the odds makers think of these two offenses, too. So we're in line to see another Pac-12 shootout, right? Well, maybe, but we need to talk about the weather report here, and I hate including the weather report in the YouTube video because that shit is crazy, and I'll be like, oh, it's just gonna be crazy rain, and then I upload it and 2 hours later it changes, and then there's no rain at all. People are commenting like, you're an idiot. Like, dude, I can't control the weather. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing here. But seriously, the weather report for Eugene, Oregon on tomorrow and Saturday, heavy rain, thunderstorms. And that's a huge factor when you consider what these two teams' strengths are, and we'll get to that in just a second. So both these teams can run the shit out of the ball. I mean, Zach Charbonnet for UCLA has been an absolute unstoppable monster. Just ripped off 198 yards against the Utah defense last game. I mean, he looks unstoppable, but do you want to know what the worst game of Zach Charbonnet's career is? Last year, Zach Charbonnet against the Ducks, 15 carries, 35 yards, just 2.3 yards per carry. Oregon's defense completely made him a non-factor. Now, to be fair, UCLA's offense all around looks way better this year than it did last year, but still it's something to take note of. If we're talking about a bad weather game here, that just pushes me way onto the Oregon side. I mean, this team is just built better for a bad weather game. This is an Oregon team that leads the Pac-12, averaging over 241 rushing yards a game. And they're putting up those numbers against a much stronger schedule. Oregon's 25th in the country in strength of schedule. UCLA's all the way back at 54th. So over 241 rushing yards a game, leading the Pac-12 against a much stronger schedule. 4 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen for Oregon are projected to be drafted in the NFL draft this year. 4 out of the 5. I'm telling you, if this is a bad weather game, it's a huge advantage for the Ducks. If I'm Oregon, I'm like, yeah, bring on the thunderstorms. We want it. That's why this line is where it is. That's why the Sharps are coming in late, hammering Oregon, because they're looking at the weather report. If you take the passing game out of this matchup, the advantage goes way over to the Ducks side. I mean, even Bo Nix is a better rusher than DTR. Bo Nix has 331 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns on 8.8 yards per carry. DTR's got like 230 rushing yards, 5.5 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns. So even if you bring in the quarterback rushing into it, it's still advantage goes to the Ducks. Honestly, I hate these bad weather games. I hate them. This is such a huge game. I had to do a video on it, but I try to avoid betting them because they just get me so pissed off. There's such an unpredictability to them. But in this one, I feel like the bad weather just screws the Bruins. It really is. It's a tough break because this game would have been awesome. But if they're going to play it in this weather, I have to take the Ducks. Give me Oregon minus 6.5. They should just steamroll the UCLA defensive front in this rain. I really can't see UCLA being able to out-physical Oregon. So give me the Oregon Ducks minus 6.5. This isn't gonna be in the top 7 bets. It might not even make the VIP ticket, we'll see. I might throw it on there for a half unit, but there's a chance I leave this game off altogether. If anything changes with this bet, I'll let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final tickets that I do, bet of the day, parlays of the day, top 7 bets, underdog of the day, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. College football week 8, it's shitty that this one's gonna have such bad weather because it could have been a great game, but who knows? Maybe it clears up, maybe they postpone it, who knows what happens? Maybe we still see a great game, we'll see. Let's have a good Saturday and I'll talk to you on Twitter.